the people who are here and let you know who we are, why we're doing this, what the story is. The Men's Auxiliary of the National Action Network has for the last year been putting together a newsletter that informs the public of what the National Action Network is doing and what goes on here specifically on Saturday mornings. This has been going out to a couple thousand people across the country, and actually via the internet for people beyond the United States. So that those of you who don't know what happens here on Saturday morning, you should make sure that you give your email address to Gerard. You'll get the letter in the mail automatically. Gerard is at the door. You can get that automatically. Make sure you give your email address to him. Additionally, the cost of the newsletter is why we're doing this. Because quite frankly, you're talking running $200 a week almost every week for the last year. The cost has gotten prohibitive. The funds that we raise this evening helps us keep the price, helps continue the newsletter. Additionally, in the newsletters, you see the space that you can take out sponsorship ads or announcements or whatever. If you're able to do that, announce your child's graduation, advertise your business, say what's going on in your church. If you can do something like that, those funds help us keep the newsletter going. That's what's going on with the newsletter. Most of you probably know about the Saturday morning rallies that happen in this place, the House of Justice. The Saturday morning rallies, the members of the New York chapter of the National Action Network, and a wide variety of guests. We meet here generally from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturday mornings. Is there anybody here this evening who's never been in this building before? We do have a few visitors. All right, aside from chatting with your friends, you should take the time to walk around and see what's on the wall. Because this place is historic in what goes on here and who is here. Because the people who visited the National Action Network, this morning for instance, we had James Ntume, musician par excellence, author, college professor. They were talking about black music business. The man is quite knowledgeable. And we had someone like Herb Gordon, historian, journalist. He wrote his book about the Million Man March is one of the best about the Million Man March. And he has a new book about the Civil Rights Movement. So those are the kind of people who come by here in this place. You are invited here for the National Action Network Saturday morning rally. However, you should know that this place is not sitting there idle the rest of the week. Aside from what goes on with the rally, we have a choir, National Action Network Change Choir. They're generally here on Mondays. They do their rehearsal. They're always looking for new people. You should be able to sing. They're looking for new people to join the choir, and that choir travels with Reverend Charlton quite a few different places. If you're interested in participating in that, you should show up on Monday evening. Reverend Tyrone Richardson is here. Tuesday evenings in this place, we have free sign language courses that are offered. We have the teacher here, Christine Dudley, who offers beginner classes, intermediate classes, and advanced classes. The stuff that you can get here is what they will charge you thousands of dollars for if you go to some of the community colleges and some of the private places. We understand that there are people in our community who are hard of hearing, who are still part of our community even if they don't hear the words that we speak. The work that the Deaf Club and the Sign Language class has been doing to take the message to people who are hard of hearing and people who are deaf has been fantastic over the last few years. They not only interpret and do the translation when Reverend Charlton and others are speaking, but they offer everybody here an opportunity to learn to do the same. Some of your churches, some of your schools, some of your congregations may now be using sign language interpreters. Some of them get their lessons from people like Christine Dudley. The woman is a master at her craft, and what she offers you here is superlative, better than you get elsewhere, if only because you have small classes and the teacher has time to listen to you and to give you individual attention. That's Tuesday nights. Wednesday nights in this place, they have yoga and stretch classes for keeping physically fit. There are people within the National Action Network who are very much up on physical fitness and wellness. That's Wednesday evening that they're in here. So if you are able to come by Wednesday evenings, they are here. Thursdays, we have the martial arts karate group. They meet here. Again, some people are interested in that. Some of the youngsters, some of the children and grandchildren of members of the National Action Network are in here on Thursday evenings, and you would be amazed to see some of the trophies they have brought home to the National Action Network. This is not a karate school, this is not a martial arts academy, but the children and some of the adults who are here have been championships in several different contests throughout the New York area. And I think they even traveled outside of New York and brought home the trophy. So there's good stuff that they're doing. Master teachers who make themselves available to present that to the adults and the children. On Friday, the performing arts group. The performing arts people have always been a significant part of the civil rights movement. Whether you're talking about Sweet Honey on the Rock, or you're talking about people like Belafonte, or you're talking about people like Imam Mubaraka, the performing arts have always been a part of the civil rights movement and taking the message of freedom and the fight for justice to the people. Some of those people are now here on Friday evenings working, and they have different presentations. The current presentation that they're doing, they're performing on Mondays, and I think they rehearse on Fridays. There's a presentation that they do about the politics of 2011, the Barack Obama administration, and what's going on in our community. So if you have a performing arts talent, speaking, singing, acting, if you have those kinds of talents, you are welcome to participate with the National Action Network with that performing arts group. And Saturdays, as I said, Saturday mornings are the rally from 9 to 11 a.m. When Reverend Charlton is in New York, he is here speaking. When he's out of New York, there are other speakers who here address the rally each and every Saturday. The Saturday rally, by the way, if you're not here, you can plug in on the internet. They broadcast it, streaming live on the internet, the 9 a.m. Saturday rallies. If you're near the radio, it's on WLIB Radio, 1190 a.m. So for those of you who may not be able to make it here on a Saturday morning, either on radio, 1190 a.m., or on the internet, anywhere in the world, you can plug in and see the live streaming of the Saturday morning rallies. The point is that day after day after day, there are people in this place who are working in the fight for justice and working to make sure that we advance ourselves and working to make sure that there is freedom available to more and more and more people who are disadvantaged or exploited. You are challenged, you are invited to become one of the people fighting that fight. Because, quite frankly, we're not looking for spectators. You don't come here to watch Reverend Charlton. And he says repeatedly, this is not an Al Sharpton fan club. That's not what goes on in this place. You come here to participate in what goes on in this place. And aside, again, the men's auxiliary you should know about, because that's who I work closely with, and that's who's sponsoring this evening. But certainly aside from the men's auxiliary, you should know that there's an anti-violence committee, there's a Black History committee, the business and finance group, the choir, the court patrol, the disabilities committee, the guardians, who provide security for this space and for the National Action Network, whoever is travel. There's a health and wellness committee, there's an HIV/AIDS committee, a hospitality committee, a housing committee, the men's auxiliary, the political action group, the second chance committee, which was just lauded by some of the people in Albany, because a great many of the people in our community have had some period of incarceration. You have a whole lot of people, men and women, who have been incarcerated, and when they come back into the community, not many people are waiting to welcome them. The National Action Network works to welcome and integrate people back into the community. And it's everything from helping them find housing and employment, people who need substance abuse counseling, people who need advice in terms of some of their independent living skills. So the Second Chance Committee, which is relatively new, they've gotten quite a bit of praise for what they've done within the last 4 or 5 months, really. We have the Sign Language Interpreters Club. We have the Sports Club, the Performing Activist Club. There's the Veterans Committee, Women's Auxiliary, and the Youth and Young Adult Group. So there's a whole bunch of different things that you're invited to participate in. Each and every one of you, we would like to have you there. Specifically, as we move forward, we want to make sure that everybody knows what's happening with the National Action Network in the next few weeks. On August 27th, the National Action Network, New York chapter, Philadelphia chapter, Atlanta chapter, all over the country, I think it's 35 different chapters, has buses going to Washington, D.C. for the dedication of the Dr. Martin Luther King Memorial. For those of you who don't know it, there is a space and there is a memorial that's been constructed in Washington, D.C., a permanent memorial to the life and the legacy of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. On Saturday, August 27th, there will be thousands of people from all over the country, including New York, traveling to Washington, D.C. for that dedication of that memorial. So that's something that we would like to have you know. You come here, you sign up, and